Hi everyone, welcome to your practice. For today's class, you don't necessarily need any props, but if there's knee injury or you're finding your quads a bit tight, I would recommend having a block or a blanket to sit on because we're going to be doing some work sitting on the feet or the heels, okay? So I'll just give you a minute to acquire whatever props that you might need, and we'll just take a minute and take our awareness inward. So wherever you are, if Virasana, this posture sitting on your heels, is accessible, feel free to come into that. If not, a comfortable cross-legged seated position will do just fine. Letting the eyelids drape over the eyes. And the eyes rest back in their sockets. Feeling a gentle tug on the crown of your head, lightly upwards, while the shoulders settle and the hips ground. Begin to gently deepen the rhythm of breathing, asking your inhale and your exhale to be smooth and even and clear. And we can inhale to a comfortable peak, and then let your exhalation smooth out, balancing with your inhale so that they are mere reflections of each other, equal in length, depth, and tone. And as you breathe, can you let your attention slide down from the head, down the neck, down the chest, and down into the deep belly, about 2 fingers distance below your navel, and right in front of the spine. As you inhale from that point, outwards into the pelvis, in a 3-dimensional way. Forward, backward, sides, down, and up. And as you exhale, let the attention draw from the outer rim of the pelvis and back to the center. At the top of each inhale, finding a comfortable peak, and a moment where you just hang in space. And finding a comfortable bottom at the bottom of your exhalation. A moment of stillness where nothing at all happens. Stay and connect that breath, and slowly fluttering the eyes to open. And we can bring the hands forward in front, and maybe just lift the feet, and roll the ankles a few times, one direction, and then the other. From here, tuck all the toes under, and then gently pull the knees up off the floor, lifting to downward facing dog, relaxing the neck and the head. Maybe shake the head gently from side to side, twisting around the center of the cervical spine. And then coming back through stillness as you exhale, drop down to the knees. And keep all the toes tucked under as you sit back onto your heels. Now, here's where your block can come in. If you're feeling like that is a little bit too much to sit back on the heels, you can sit on your block. And you're welcome to sit out the arm portion of this particular one. If having those toes tucked under and sitting up is too much, you're welcome to bring your fingertips onto the floor as well. Otherwise, if you can sit back onto your heels with or without support, you can reach back, make sure those piggies are tucked under, and bring your heels slightly towards the center. Make sure the low ribs come in, the shoulders are relaxed. And we're going to do some work with the shoulders and the arms, and we're going to find this pattern in quite a few postures as we go through practice today. So from here, interlace the hands, and as you inhale, move the palms forward and up towards the ceiling. Keep the low ribs down and in, the shoulders heavy, the crown of the head light and the chin gently drawn in. Widen the outer rims of the eyes. And then as you exhale, let the hands slide apart, draw your left arm under your right arm over, either bringing the backs or the palms of the hands together. Shoulders drop down. Elbows and fingers lift up towards the ceiling. And gently moving the back of the forearms forward towards the front of your mat. For 3, 2, and 1. Release the arms, hands onto the floor. Let's take a brief break. Lift the feet. Big inhale here. Exhale through the mouth. And you can let those feet dangle in space, or once again, roll the ankles in one direction and then in the other. Once again, sit back onto the heels. But this time, what we're going to do is, I'll turn right around here. So we're going to take the top of the right foot onto the floor, pointed towards the back corner of your mat, and then top of the left foot into the arch of the right. And again, if you need to sit on a block or a blanket between the hips and the heels, feel free to do so. And same thing again. And mind you, the knees are going to be a little bit uneven, and that's totally fine. Just welcome this asymmetry in the body. Try to get the pelvis a little bit more stable and even as you rest down your weight into that foot. So interlace the hands the opposite, the awkward way as you did last time, and then inhale forward and up. Shoulders drop, low ribs drop. Pinky fingers are gently nudging towards the back of the mat. Tugging the inner wrists outwards. Crown of the head lifts. For 2. And 1, as you exhale, separate the hands. This time, right arm comes under, left arm over, either bringing backs or palms of the hands together. Shoulders drop, elbows lift. Finding the circumference of the breath, expanding outwards from the center of the pelvis to the edges. And as you exhale, from the edges to the center. For 2. And 1. Release your hands once more, hands onto the floor. Lift the feet, and you can just let them dangle. Take a big inhale here. Exhale through the mouth, either making circles with the ankles or letting the feet rest in stillness. And then let's try the other side. So top of the left foot onto the floor, left toes pointing towards the back right corner of your mat, and then top of the right foot into the arch of the left. Remember, knees will be a little bit uneven, but try to get the pelvis stable and steady. This time, again, inhale, interlace the hands, move the hands up. Take a few breaths. See if you can gently try to tug the hands away from each other. Try to tug the inner wrists towards the left and right sides of your mat. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, break those hands apart. And now this time, bring the hands with the knuckles to butt together against the back, or you can take a reverse namaste if that is available for the body. You might have to give a little wiggle right and left just to find that place where it's between too much and not enough. Pelvis is heavy, shoulders are heavy, crown is light. Jaw is relaxed. For 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands, bring them forward in front of you. Shift your weight forward onto the knees. And once again, you can let the feet dangle in space. Or if you wish, you can make circles with the ankles in one direction and then the other. So now that our feet are awake, we can tuck our toes under and lift the hips slowly up and back into downward facing dog. Hollow the deep belly. Let the 2 sit bones feel like they're being pulled by marionette strings up towards the ceiling. Shoulders widen, left shoulder left, right shoulder right. Taking 1 more inhale here. Exhale, once again, come down onto the knees. We're going to do 1 more for the legs here before we go any further. So once again, you can use something between hips and heels. But this time, what we're going to do, this super awkward position, we're going to take the right toes towards the back left corner of the mat. And this time, the front of the left shin drops into the belly of the calf on the right side. So we won't do anything with the hands at this point. You can just bring the fingers onto the floor and rest your hips back just as far as you can let them release. Shoulders relax. See if you can keep deepening the hip creases. Feel the front body hollow back and in towards the front of the spine. Relax the hinge of the jaw. You could even walk the hands back towards you, hovering the hands just in front of the knees, or you can bring your hands onto the knees as well. But just be gentle. This can be a fairly intense sensation. So remember, we're trying to ride that edge between too much and not enough. And if we've stopped breathing, we know that's too much, and we just need to back off a little bit. Exhale, hands to the floor. Lift the feet off the floor, uncross them, big deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, give the ankles a few rolls or let them hang in stillness, up to you. And just notice that right side should feel a little bit different than the left. Let's try the other side. So left toes point towards the back right corner of the mat, and then right shin goes, I know, into the belly of the calf. This is not a feel-good posture, but this is a do-good posture. We just have to walk that edge really mindfully. Keep sliding both left and right hips back evenly as you sink the weight down towards the floor. Again, you can walk those fingers back towards the body or even rest the hands onto the knees if that felt right. Staying for 3, 2, and 1. Hands onto the floor in front of you. Good job, you guys. I know you're troopers if you followed me through that. So once again, lift the feet. You can let them dangle or find movement, whatever feels best for you. And when it feels like that posture has been erased, we tuck our toes under and lift the hips up and back for our very spacious downward facing dog. Head and neck dangle for 3, 2, and 1. Looking forward, let's step those feet behind the wrists to the top of the mat. Take an inhale, elbows to tops of knees, come halfway up. And then exhale, hollow the deep belly as we fold. Now this folding forward, we can see if we can bring those kneecaps to venture a little bit over the mounds of the feet, or the balls of the feet, just ever so slightly. And then the sit bones widen, right sit bone right, left sit bone left. If we don't need the support of elbows on knees, we can let the hands rest onto the floor, palms up. Or, if you prefer, slide the hands underneath the feet, Padahastasana, and fold. Connect the front of the belly to the tops of the thighs. And play with shifting that weight forward and back. Press into your right foot and see if you can cross-reference across the body to widen your left hip left. Press into your left foot and cross-reference across the body to widen the right hip right. For 2. And 1. If you're standing on those hands, you can step off them. Take an inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, heel toe those feet the distance of the mat or a little bit wider. We're actually going to twist and turn up to standing. So what this would look like is bending your knees a little bit and lifting your torso just so that the fingers are dangling off the floor and starting to rock from side to side. And we're feeling really sort of chimpanzee-like in this motion. Our legs are strong and connected. Our feet are connected down into the floor. And we're just pushing off one foot, swaying in the opposite direction, and then returning to the other side. And the key here is that our upper bodies are feeling really ragdoll and marionette-like. And that our legs are doing the work here. See if you can lift the torso up a little bit higher. And see if that upper body, the shoulders, the head, the arms, see how limp you can let them go as we twist and turn. And then go up a little bit higher with the torso. This isn't the most spectacular looking or fancy asana, but it is effective. We're gradually working up to standing, and when we're standing, when we're twisting to one side, we're lifting off the opposite heel. And swinging the arms so that you're really feeling the centrifugal force tug at your fingers. And then starting to raise those hands up a bit higher. Almost like you're tossing a pizza up in the air. And then let's bring those hands down a little bit lower and a little bit lower. Testing the boundaries of where the torso stops in that twist. And then bring yourself into a still point. Arms come to stillness. Take a moment here in a wider stance Tadasana. Inhale here. Send the exhale down through the body, down through your feet, growing roots into the ground. Again, inhale. Exhale, pour that breath down the body. Step the feet a little bit closer together. We're going to continue with these dynamic movements because they're just appropriate and fun for this time of year that we're in. So taking the hands onto the hips, we're going to make circles in clockwise directions with the pelvis. You can pick a spot that doesn't move a little bit ahead of you, maybe, 5 to 7 feet or so onto the floor. And we're trying to get that pelvis to make nice, clear, and clean circles as we rotate the pelvic floor around an invisible center point on the floor between those feet. Let's change directions. Counterclockwise for 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, fold forward. Now, if there's lower back issues, you can fold halfway. Inhale up. And if there's no lower back issues, you can fold all the way down. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Keep the knees soft. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, body, arms up. And this time, exhale, lower the arms to shoulder height as we bend the knees about halfway down. Inhale, stand up, arms beside the body. Exhale, arms up, pelvis down. And stand, keep going. Inhale for seat to reach down and back. Exhale to push from the pelvis through the feet into the floor. For 3, for 2, 1 more. Inhale, arms up. And 1 more time, exhale, fold. This time, Padangustasana. If you have accessibility to hook the big toes with your peace fingers, do so. Connect belly to tops of thighs. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Tip some weight forward into the balls of the toes. Ground down into the right foot, widen left hip left. Ground down into the left foot, widen right hip right. Shoulders slide away from the ears. Yawning open through the backs of your knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release the hands. Heel toe those feet a little bit wider. Turn the toes slightly out and then so toes would turn out a little bit. And you can also take elbow to top of thigh if mobility or lack thereof is an issue for you. I'm picking up toward left finger. Around the front of the pelvis up, heel toe those feet hip distance apart, and then exhale once more, belly to thighs, and fold forwards. This time, if you wish, you can take the hands and grab the backs of your calves or your ankles to gently guide the crown of the head downwards. Or if you like, for a different sensation, we take the hand, the palm of the hand, and you can step right on the center of your palm with the center of your heel. And this will tip some weight forward into the balls of the toes. Feels a little bit awkward. It's a nice pressure point for the hands. For 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands. Take them forward onto the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you can take the belly off of the thighs, ground into the heels, and inhale, roll all the way up. Arms reach to the ceiling. Exhale, equal standing. Now we'll remind ourselves of that little sequence that we did with the arms as we come into some standing work. So we're going to be taking Vrikshasana, tree posture. If you do need a wall, feel free, take the wall, no problem. Standing onto the left foot, sole of the right foot, the heel can meet the inner ankle, calf, thigh, or for some of you, if you're interested in going into half lotus, that's also an option. So press the two halves of the low body in towards one another and ground down into the inside of your left foot. Interlace your palms, inhale, press those arms to the ceiling, shoulders down, feel as though you can tug the wrists to their own sides. Exhale, release, bring your left arm under, your right arm over. Release the hands, inhale, arms out. Exhale, right arm under, left arm over. Now this is a little tricky because it obscures your gazing point. So just do your best. Maybe look to one side of those arms. Inhale, arms reach out. Exhale, either butting the knuckles behind the back or reverse namaste. Ground down through the inside edge of your left foot, sinking down through the right hip, but strongly engaging the outer left. Release the hands. Inhale, right foot lifts and extends, and release. You can shake that out a little bit and try the other side. So find your foundation, connect sole of left foot into inner right thigh, and then inner right thigh into sole of left foot. Interlace the hands the awkward way. Inhale, bring the palms up. Side waist is long. Drop the shoulders. Exhale, break the hands apart, left arm under, right arm over. Garudasana, arms. Break the hands apart, inhale, arms out. Exhale, right arm under, left arm over. Low rib sink, elbows, fingers lift. Break the hands apart. Last one here, everyone. Exhale, either butt the knuckles or reverse namaste behind the back. Take a moment and remind yourself of the stacking of bones and joints from the feet up through ankles, knees, pelvis, and spine. Release the hands. Inhale, left leg lifts, and release. Let's take vinyasa here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop back, down dog. Inhale, roll forward to upper plank. Pause. Exhale, lower chaturanga with or without the knees. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, spinal roll back, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Let's step those feet together at the back of the mat. And then from here, see if you can keep your weight even and undisturbed as the right knee comes towards the belly. As you inhale, push the back of the room away. Stay here for 3. 2, pelvis is even. And 1, looking forward. Step that foot all the way through between the hands. This is yogi's choice here. I welcome you to take one of 3 postures. We can either drop down onto the back knee, we can keep the back knee lifted, or if you wish, pivot and plant that left foot flat for warrior 1. So whichever one you choose, it doesn't really matter. Whatever one you think would benefit you most. Take the hands off of the floor, suck the low belly in, and spinal roll up. Interlace the hands, and then inhale, press the palms to the ceiling. Shoulders rest. Exhale, break the hands apart. Left arm under, right arm over. Inhale, hands reach out. Exhale, right arm under, left arm over. Break the hands apart. One last inhale here. Almost there, you guys. Exhale, turn your hands back, either butting the knuckles or reverse namaste for 3. Inner right knee forward, inner left knee back. 2. And 1. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, hands to the mat, pivot on the back toes, step back, downward facing dog. You can stay in downward dog and just feel the effects, or flow through vinyasa. When you're finished, if you are flowing through vinyasa, once again, step the feet together at the back of the mat. Feel grounded through all 4 points of contact. And then slowly take that left foot off of the floor, draw the knee to the belly. Inhale, push that heel away. Exhale, look forward, step that left foot between the hands. Final roll up. Interlace the fingers the opposite way, and inhale, palms reach up. Now we hold this posture a long time with the legs, so it's helpful to go deeper into the posture and at the same time distract yourself by stacking your bones and joints. Exhale, break apart, left arm under, right arm over. And what I mean by that is taking the awareness through the skeleton at the tips of the toes, through the bones of the feet, stacking through the ankle, knee. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, right arm under, left arm over. From knee to pelvis, widen left hip left, right hip right. Low belly draws in, support the sacrum. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, reverse namaste for 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, arms up. Pivot on that back heel. Exhale, release. Step back, downward facing dog. You can cycle through vinyasa or stay put in down dog for 3. 2. And and one, looking forward, and then stepping or hopping to a seat. Immediately coming onto the space between tailbone and sitting bones, shoulders slide away from the ears. And you can hook onto the backs of your hamstrings, touching the toes to the floor, or take any variation of Navasana for 5. 3, 2. Exhale, Ardha Navasana, so go down halfway, roll over the sacrum for 5. Inhale back up, Navasana, and then just slowly, slowly exhale down to your back. Extend the legs, interlace the hands, inhale, press the palms up. Press the inside edges of your feet away to the front of the mat. Taking one more inhale here. Exhale, release the hands. At this point, you can choose to end a little bit more restoratively by taking your block underneath the pelvis for a supported little bridge, or you can end on a more active note by grounding the elbows deep into the ground beside the lower ribs, taking your feet hip distance apart, and then inhale, pressing into the feet as you lift the pelvis up. Continue to drop the weight down into the elbows. Chest moves towards the chin. If you wanted, you can even sneak those hands underneath the low back, dragging the tailbone and pubic bone forward and the chest towards the chin. For 3, 2. And slowly pelvis comes down, arms to a T. Inhale here. Exhale, slide the pelvis slightly to the right, draw the knees in, and then drop them over to the left. Body wants that right leg out towards the left and catch on to the outer right foot with the left hand. Right and left side body wrap in towards the front center midline. Right shoulder blade heavy to the floor. Release the right foot, right knee and then left, come up. Let's switch. Pelvis to the left, draw the knees in, drop them to the right, maybe extending left leg out. Release the left foot, left knee and then right, come back to the center. Draw both knees in, place the hands on the tops of the knees, and then make circles in opposing directions with those knees. Stirring the femoral head inside hip joint. And then arms. Take the accountability of movement into the flexion and extension of your elbow. Knees towards the chest, hip distance apart, and then push the knees away from and then towards the belly. Keep the feet alert, the toes spread. When the knees come towards the belly, see if you can really engage the bicep and almost pull them in so the sacrum lifts up and off of the floor. And then relax the feet onto the floor. Soles of the feet come together, open the knees, open the arms. You can, if you prefer to lie with the spine flat, you are more than welcome to. We can also take a supported fish using our block on the first height for most of you. So the heart and throat are exposed up towards the ceiling. Take a big deep breath in. Hold at the peak. And exhale. Inhale. Hold at the peak. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Retain for as long as is comfortable. And when you're ready, exhale through the mouth. And let the breath come to its own natural cadence here. If at this point you wish to roll off your block, you can. If this is feeling nice, just to have the heart open, feel free to stay. Let the breath be as it wants to be. Let the hinge of the jaw relax. And the eyes relax. And although the breath is not controlled with every exhalation that you take, the body lets go a little bit deeper, down into the support of whatever is beneath you. If you're in your supported fish, slowly knees come to the center. And we'll roll to one side, take that block out from underneath the back, and roll back to the back. Feet to the floor, knees lean towards the midline. And here you're welcome to take a longer Shavasana if you like, extending your legs. And continue to rest. Or if you wish, the knees draw in towards the chest, rolling to the side. And then push into the fingertips to lift up to a comfortable seat. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. Notice how your body feels. And hands to the center of the chest. Thank you very much for practicing today. Namaste.